it's definitely an interesting time. And on the technology side and on the employer side, we continue to hear about the notion of disintermediation, cutting out middleman, job sites, things like that, ways to connect HR directly with the talent, ways to bypass, I don't know, communications technology and just go right from a text into setting an interview on a mobile device, things like that. What are you seeing in that kind of communications area? Lovepreet, is there anything that you're seeing that is coming up with your clients?
So definitely in terms of time to start, because like we saw earlier, QR codes weren't a thing like a couple of years ago, and especially not in hiring.
Mhm.
So it's just small things like that, and it all ties back to what I said earlier, respecting the person's time, and you could do it in multiple ways, right? And not you know my team might hate me for saying this because we've traditionally been a resume parser. It doesn't have to be a resume, right? It could be your online profile. It could be um, maybe not a form that takes 30 minutes, maybe a form that takes 5 minutes. Get them to list their top skills, get them to list their most recent job titles, right? And you can build a profile just from those specific keywords like 10 or 12. And that's where the technology is going. You don't need a resume or a profile to be able to get employed, right? And you don't need to go through an application process. You don't even need to be on a laptop on a screen, and you can just email a resume in, right? If you have one. So it's things like that that take away the barrier to entry. And I think that's very crucial when you talk about high volume, because it's all a numbers game. So the more people you can actually add at the funnel at the top, the more likely are you to find the best matching candidate. So it all comes down to how soon can you go from 100,000 applicants to the top 50 or top 100, and how accurately can you reach out to them, right? So tech can do that for you. It can give you similar job recommendations. It can give you similar candidate recommendations. Instead of going through the applicants and matching them to jobs, you can actually upload your ideal candidate that has all the perfect criteria that you want them to be hired on, match against that ideal candidate, do a profile comparison. So there's many ways to think about this, but it all comes down to making things easier. Or someone who's been laid off, right, because of this pandemic, give them the opportunity to get back on the labor market. They may not have the skills needed after not being on the market for decades, right? So it's stuff like that that we have to think about. And of course, technology can only fix one part of it, but you do have to accept some sort of responsibility that it's our job. At least I do, right? That's why I'm always after my team. Okay, this is the AI that we're working on. Is it good enough to hire the best applicant? If it's not, you just cost someone their job. I think we have to take it that seriously.